What is good, Osiris here, stuck in the middle? I talked about Nikole Hannah-Jones a little while back and how she was getting denied tenure at North Carolina. And understandably, she was not happy about that. If you're not familiar with Nikole Hannah-Jones, she's the one that put together, along with other writers, but she was the face of the 1619 Project, which is an offshoot of critical race theory. And this video isn't about critical race theory. It's more about the structure behind it, as far as like higher ups, the establishment, you could say. They were playing around with her tenure. And I said in that video, hey, don't you got so what happens here is obviously whoever is behind all of this in the mysterious establishment, there's a lot of people. Not all of them can resonate with black voters and bring them into the Democratic establishment. You need black people to do that. Or you just don't even say black people, but you need credible people who are credible with black people to do that. Patrisse Cullors probably will go down during our era as one of the most powerful to bring not just black people, but every bit of intersectionality through. She was the co-founder of Black Lives Matter, bringing them through Black Lives Matter into the Democratic establishment in an election where they needed to beat an outsider, number 45. So Patrisse Cullors, and I'm not saying it was through the organization, but she got taken care of by the establishment with her book deal, YouTube deal, TV deal. Those deals aren't accident. She did something for the establishment to get that deal and then to be in the position to look for her fifth house in the Bahamas. So understandably, Nikole Hannah-Jones is like, I've done a little bit to bring people to the establishment with the 1619 Project. If you could argue that outside of Patrisse Cullors, I might be the number two person. What I need this is my conjecture. I'm not saying that they actually communicated like that, but this is what the dynamic is. What she wanted was tenure from North Carolina. And they were playing games, there was a guy behind the scenes, didn't want to do it. And she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I did a lot here. I'm just me in my opinion. And she wasn't happy. They gave her tenure. They voted on it, gave her tenure. And I said she deserved tenure for what she did for them, for the establishment as a whole. And these universities are the underlining of all this. And she was like, too little, too late. I didn't. I thought she was going to accept it. I said, congratulations. She was like, nah. This is the establishment, that you can't play around like this. You give people in these intermediate positions like Nikole Hannah-Jones, and you'll see Ta-Nehisi Coates and others to deliver people to you, and you don't take care of them, those people are going to turn on you. And that's the message I think she sent when today I found out she is now going to join Howard University. Howard University announces Nikole Hannah-Jones and Ta-Nehisi Coates will join the Howard University faculty to help educate the next generation of black journalists. That's a lot of control. They've got some power. And the message that Nikole Hannah-Jones was sending was like, don't mess with me. I've done some things that are worth crediting. I want you to think about it almost like you're at work and you feel like you should get this position, you interview for it, you feel like you're the strongest. And then at the end of the day, North Carolina gave it to her. And your boss says, yes, you got it. Here's the offer letter. You can do it. And then you say, no, I want to go over to this other organization. And you do it kind of out of spite because you're like, it was a little too hard for me to get a job that I had already earned. I didn't need to go through all this beef with you for. And I'm gonna go over here. So it was not a direct diss, but it was a message that she sent. Don't mess with me. That's a power move. Gotta respect that. to say no. So North Carolina they got egg on their face. because they finally gave her tenure, and she was like, "No, I'm gonna go over to Howard." That is a power move. And what are they doing? What is Ta-Nehisi Coates and Nikole Hannah-Jones doing? They're going to join the faculty, and they're going to be working in the Center of Journalism and Democracy, which will focus on training and supporting aspiring journalists in acquiring the investigative skills and historical and analytical expertise needed to cover the crisis our democracy is facing. The center hopes to work across multiple historically Black colleges and universities that offer journalism degrees and concentrations. Are these the journalists that you want leading a program to do investigative journalism for you? These are people who see life through the lens of racism. What do you think they're going to teach the next generation of journalists? I'm going to end on this. Jesse Kroll is one unbelievable dude. This is one of the smartest. I really do feel blessed for, because you can knock Twitter or YouTube. There's still great stuff out here that I can follow this dude and hear his thoughts and learn from him. Not agree with everything, but learn from him on Twitter. It's at Jesse Kroll, Crall, Jesse Kroll. Unbelievable. I don't even know fully what his background is. I don't even really care. But I'm going to show you his YouTube channel in a second. I'm going to read this first. Here was his take. Both Hannah-Jones and Coates promote a fabricated, cynical view of race relations in America, one that often ends up suiting existing power brokers. So it's no surprise that the big money organizations want them shaping a new generation of neoliberal myth makers. So if you didn't catch that, he's saying they're there to create a new generation of neoliberal myth makers. So somebody like me who does not agree with them socially and politically, I wouldn't even be able to be a journalist at Howard. How could I pass a class when you would have to view it through the lens of racism? That's what they're going to be teaching. Critical race theory can be taught through science. It can be taught through math. It can be taught through journalism. Anything. Go to Amplifier Project. Only 80 subscribers. My goodness. This is one of the best YouTube channels out there. I subscribe to a lot of them. Jesse Kroll and Victoria Hall are amazing. I'm going to be talking about them more on this podcast. I'm going to be using more clips from them on this podcast. Absolutely amazing content. And to me, it's deserving of like 1 million times the views. He is a political social commentator. I guess you could say he would lean as a progressive, but I don't even label people like that, so I don't know. But he's just based. That's what he is. So he's not like a Tim Pool. He's different than that, but he's just really based. Excellent work from this podcast. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Am I wrong about Nikole Hannah-Jones? It wasn't a diss. Maybe she just wanted to team up with Ta-Nehisi Coates and do that. I don't know. But thanks a lot for listening. Take care.